In this video, let's talk about how you can reprogram your subconscious mind with mantras and subliminals. What are the right ways to use them? Stay with me. Welcome back to Choosing Gratitude. My name is Karen and I'm your co-creator today. And if you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much for being part of my gratitude tribe. And if you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing to the channel. This is a channel that's all about helping you choose your dream life by applying simple but powerful gratitude techniques. Okay, everybody, this is the second part of my collaboration with the DreamSwarp channel with my lovely husband, George. And in the first part of this video, we already talked about two very important ways to help you reprogram your subconscious mind. And if you haven't watched that video, please go back to that video on the DreamSwarp channel. And I also have a link down below in the description box. All right, today let's talk about the two remaining methods for you to bypass your conscious mind and have your positive intention truly seep into your subconscious mind. The third one, or the first one that we're going to be talking about today, is mantras. I actually got some people asking me about mantras, but I have not made a video about it because a lot of people think that they're a little bit weird. So I want to give you guys a little bit of our personal experience with mantras. You want to start, George?
Yeah, guys, I could talk about this to no end. From early childhood, I had always had a practice of like praying, and I had already been meditating for a few years, so I was open to those kinds of things, but mantras was something that was so strange to me. But I have always in my life tried to be an open-minded person. I think that is very, very important. And when she introduced me to mantras, there was like a little voice in me saying like, what in the world is this? But there was another part that was like, okay, settle down. Let me explore this. Let me at least give it a shot. But I started doing a particular mantra with her and a group. I can't even describe what it was, but I started feeling something. I guess to understand, you have to do it yourself. But I started feeling something, and we were told, or at least what I understood was, think of something that you really want to have in your life, and as you're reciting the mantra, see it in your mind, like a visualization. See it and just use the mantra and direct your energy toward that. And we had, at the time, we had just met. We were struggling financially. We had a lot of different issues going on, just too many to name, okay? But we were under a tremendous amount of pressure to receive documentation in the mail that she needed for a certain job that she wanted. And we were so worried because we needed this income so desperately. And I mean, we're talking about resistance, desperation, clinging, all the stuff that normally in law of attraction you try to avoid because that can get in the way of your manifestation. So, but back then we were, at least me, speaking for myself, I was kind of new to the whole law of attraction stuff, and I didn't really understand all that. I just knew that we really needed this, and we needed it now. So we spent, how many hours? We did this mantra. Hours. We spent probably 6 to 8 hours, a few days, just chanting it over and over and over and over. And guys, I know this sounds too good to be true, but I think it was the very day before she needed to present it, it appeared in the mailbox. Yeah. And I was stunned. It completely changed in 1 minute my beliefs about mantras. And now I still use them. All the time when I'm driving in my car, I'm reciting mantras.
You don't really need to understand why they work, but my take on this is this, okay? Most of them come from ancient times. So they're at least hundreds, or if not thousands of years old. And they were stemmed from a group of very enlightened people, or maybe one of the very enlightened masters. Probably in their deepest meditative state, they conceived this particular sound, and they were assigned a meaning, right, to this particular words, whatever. And yes, you don't understand what exactly these words are, but that's actually the beautiful part, because that way your conscious mind has no way to interfere, and you're directly connected to the highest mastery state of whoever invented that mantra or whoever perceived that mantra in the very beginning, right? So it's a direct experience. It's, because your conscious mind just have no way to interfere. That's why mantras, I heard that they're really like a capsule, right? When you take a capsule, the true medicine is inside the capsule. So you don't really know what these things are, but it's very important to repeat it, because just say it one time it doesn't do much. You really have to repeat it and many times. The reason why I don't want to give you a specific mantra here is because I'm not a mantra guru, and personally both George and I, we have been through different mantras, mantra is almost like your pet. Okay, you have to find the right pet for you. You can't just somebody give you a mantra, you say, oh, that's great. All of them are great, all of them have very special meanings, but you have to try different mantras and see how you feel. And through trial and error, you will find your mantra. And there are a lot of mantras in traditional Buddhism, in Hinduism. Just go out and try a few, and once you find your mantra, that will be your mantra for life. The beauty of mantra is that you don't have to go into a meditative state. You don't have to. Sometimes, when your mind is chattering, when you're, you just can't get rid of your desperate thoughts, that's the best time to use a mantra, because that specific sound will bypass all your worries, all your resistance, all your fear, and bypass all of your past life programming, your subconscious programming, and go straight into the core of your being. That's why they are so powerful.
Awesome. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, and
we got to go into number 4.
Number 4, and actually, I think subliminals work kind of similarly like mantras.
They're
right?
related. They're related.
So, what do you think of subliminals?
Here's what I like about subliminals, and this is another thing. When I was first exposed to subliminals, I first heard about subliminals. As many of you, at least on my channel, know, my background I'm a psychotherapist. Been doing that for almost 15 years. I've been working with people for a long time on changing how they think, changing how they work with their feelings, changing how they behave. And so I always have a bias of approaching things a little more clinically, a little more rationally. Like I want to see proof, I want to see things have to make sense to me. So when I first heard about subliminals, I was also a tiny bit skeptical. I'll be honest, a tiny bit skeptical. But again, just like with the mantras, guys, I approached it with an open mind. I said, I'm going to try it out. And
always skeptical.
Yes, always skeptical. So we basically both downloaded. We went online. We found a few subliminals, and I listened to mine as I was falling asleep, which to me that seemed very important. And the reason for that, guys, is sleep is a very interesting period in our brains. Our brains are never not working. During sleep, your brain is actually doing a whole lot of things. But what's great is that when you are sleeping, that rational, doubting, fearful, logical, linear, organized mind is unconscious. So there are key phases during sleep that are just prime time for affirmations to seep into subconscious area. So I took the subliminals that I found online and I listened to them. I think we did a whole 30 days. I think I did like 25, 26 days. Like
he said, after trying different subliminals online, we were really just, searching. We can't really give you a source and tell you this is a trustworthy subliminal. We didn't know. But after we start to see that they worked a little bit for us, we started to think, maybe there is a way to even boost this.
Yes.
And then one day, when I was calling a credit card company, this just hit me. When I was on hold with this credit card company, I kept hearing, your call is very important for us. Somebody.
Yeah, right.
Right. Your call is very important. I kept hearing that, right, for 30, 50 times. But then I was thinking, yes, they were telling me the call is important, but that information, no matter how many times it repeats itself, it doesn't go into my subconscious mind. It does not make me believe that this call is important to them. Why? Because look, that is not somebody, and that's just a robot, right? Like imagine if he tells me your call is important to me. He doesn't need to tell me 50 times. He only needs to tell me one time, right? And I would know that, yes, my husband thinks that my call is important to him. Then that clicked, and I realized that, you know what? I need to pay attention to who is speaking these affirmations, right? And also, what are the affirmations behind, these subliminal messages? So I started like really looking into it, and I started to learn about the 432 hertz. I started to learn about the binaural beats, how they affect your body. And since we've produced music before, he used to be a musician way back. So we started producing our own subliminals, and that's what really clicked for us. And we started just recording our own subliminals,
our own voice.
When your subconscious mind hears your own voice, that's the best. And if you can't produce these subliminals, it's it's much more powerful when you listen to somebody who you're familiar with. Like, that's why I think if I speak a set of affirmations and you listen to them, probably have a little better result than just you listening to some strangers' affirmations, because your mind, you already know me. If this is not the first time you watch my videos and you kind of like this kind of videos, you like
there's an emotional connection.
There is an emotional connection between you and me, so that when you hear the subliminals that I speak, your mind will take it in a lot better. And also I realized that I can write my own affirmations tackling my specific problems, or I can affirm things that I would like to affirm instead of just taking in what other general ones, right? So that's why we started to produce our own subliminals, and we've had a lot of success with these subliminals, and we listen to them every day.
Guys, that period was the period that led to the inception of these YouTube channels. Also, we saw in our online business just booming success, and I could not rationally explain how listening to subliminals led to all this, but it is too hard to deny that they were connected.
We do have like a couple of free subliminals that we decided to just give it to you guys. And they're all made with our professional music producing software. We do them with 432 hertz with binaural beats. You can go ahead and search, why they're so important. And all the affirmations are spoken by us and also designed by us. And we write these affirmations when we're in a state of connection, and that is very, very important. So so there are links down below. You can download our free gratitude subliminals, or dreams or manifestation subliminals.
Definitely check them out, guys. I 100% agree. The emotional connection is key. You have to know the voice, and that's why we did some of the subliminals in my voice and in her voice, echoing one another, because I think there's also, if you're female, you may resonate better with female voice. If you're male, you may resonate better with a male voice. That is key in this stuff. But regardless, the subliminals are an excellent way, especially as you're falling asleep, like I said, to bypass that smaller, chatty, organized mind and tap into the subconscious.
If you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much for watching. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel and click that notification bell. Please check out the first part of this video on the Dreams Orbs channel. That's his channel, and check out his channel. He has hundreds of really good videos there, and I will see you all in the next video.